Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm Cheryl and this is Your Journey Yoga. I hope that you are enjoying your journey so far with me. Love to be here for you guys. If this is your first time with me, welcome. I hope you'll take a second and subscribe. That'll just let you know when new videos come out. I do them fairly frequently for you guys. So hopefully you could just join me on the journey every darn day. But today we are going to do working on splits. So doing the splits, right side, left side, just traditional splits as well as middle splits. So this is not something typically that comes very natural to some. For others, yes, you're born a Gumby and celebrate that, you guys. If you've got really good flexibility in those hips, hamstrings, hip flexors, so celebrate that. If you've got to work on it, like the rest of us, just take it easy. Take your time. Be gentle, be kind, be consistent. Okay, so consistency, that muscle memory, will help you get deeper into your splits if that is your ultimate goal. If it's just to gain more flexibility, guys, that's fantastic too. So for whatever motivates you to be here, thanks for being here. So hopefully you've taken a little bit of time, maybe just 5 minutes or something, walk around a little bit, get those muscles good and warm, and then we're going to start in a tabletop position. So hands shoulder width apart, knees hip width, core is nice and strong. We're just going to loosen up those hips, swaying those hips side to side. Just nice and easy, making sure that core stays strong. And we're just going to start with some nice warm-up stretches. So coming back to center, we're going to extend that right leg straight out to the side. We're going to walk those hands forward and press those sit bones straight back. So starting to feel a really nice stretch through the inner thigh. Also feels really good in that lower back. Let your head be heavy. Breathe. And inhale, let's rise. Drawing that right knee back in. Extend your left leg straight out to the side. And again, press back. Breathe. Slow and steady. Just checking in with the body. And we come on back up, bringing those hands right underneath those shoulders. Draw that left knee back in. Let's sit it back to child's pose, extending those arms out nice and long. Just letting go of some tension in that lower back. Finding that breath. And inhale it up. Let's open up those knees just a bit and sit it back to extended child's pose. So starting to open up those knees, getting a little deeper stretch through the groin, through those hips, through the glutes. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. Right underneath those shoulders, close those knees. Let's come on up onto the knees and we're going to bring that right foot forward. Leaning in, hands resting on your thighs, shifting that weight forward, lifting the chest. Breathe, extending that left arm out and up, arching it back, a little or a lot. Slow, steady breaths. A little lean to the right, deepening that stretch. And inhale it back to center. We rise, releasing the hands to on either side of your foot, and then slowly keeping those hips square, press those sit bones back. Right toes pull off the mat, hips remain square, and we draw the nose towards the knee. So if this is kind of an 8 to a 10 on the intensity scale, guys, be really, really mindful as we transition into those splits. We want to make sure that we stay nice and kind and aware of our bodies. Let's inhale it back up, bending that right knee, hips are heavy. Let's transition both hands to the inside. Breathe. Now if you're just feeling super, super tight, I recommend pause the video, go walk up and down the stairs, do some high knees, little jog in place, get those muscles a little bit warmer. If it feels right to you, come on down to your left forearm. And then that right forearm, if you like. If you're like, I don't feel like walking up and down the stairs, so I don't feel like doing high knees, it's okay. Just don't push things too far before your body's ready to. Always better to get into those deeper stretches when the body is nice and warm. We come back up to the palms of the hands, and we're going to let that right knee roll open. Just getting into those hips. Shifting your weight to your left hand, right hand to the inside of that right knee, and just gently press it around. Gaze out over that right shoulder. As we press that knee out and away just a bit, again, always mindful, always kind. Coming back to center. And once again, bring one hand on either side of your foot. Once again, sit it back. Lift those toes, square those hips, draw your nose toward your knee. We inhale, coming forward, hands on either side of your foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend right leg to the sky. Go ahead and open up your hips. And now we get that length down the back of that left leg. Feels amazing. And then release your foot down. We inhale it to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. And walk your hands back to a kneeling position, up nice and tall. And we bring that left foot forward, leaning in, hands resting on your thigh. Nice long stretch down the front of that right leg. Extending right arm out, lift it high, arch it back. Breathe. Inhaling it up nice and tall, releasing your hands on either side of your foot. Square your hips, slowly press your sit bones back as you lift those left toes. Keeping those hips square, drawing your nose toward your knee. Noticing that amazing stretch down the back of that left leg. Inhaling it back up, bending that knee. Gently bringing both hands to the inside of your foot and let those hips be heavy, guys. Staying strong through the core. If it feels right to you, come on down onto that right forearm. Left forearm if you like. Our lizard pose. Really working to let go of tension and tightness in those hips, in that inner thigh, through the groin. And let's come back up to the palms of the hands, and we're going to let that left knee roll open. So again, we're working towards the front and left splits, as well as those center splits. So being nice to your body. It's about progression, right? Progress, consistency, and staying healthy. So always, you guys, I'm an advocate of health and well-being, fitness, but well-being first and foremost. Drawing that knee back in. One hand on either side of your foot. Once again, sit those sit bones back. Lift those left toes. Square your hips. Draw your nose toward your knee. And we inhale, coming forward. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend left leg to the sky, feeling that amazing stretch down the back of that right leg. Breathe. And gently release it down. Inhaling to high plank, crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. Open up those knees nice and wide. Press it back to extended child's pose once again. Find that breath. Inhale, lift just slightly. Tuck those toes. Extend the legs, bringing those knees back towards one another. Taking the gaze between your hands. Walk your feet in to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And as you exhale, open up nice and wide to a V. Arms extending out to a T. Core is strong. Hinge it forward. Let's come all the way over. Releasing the hands. Releasing the weight of the upper body down. Head is heavy. Upper body is heavy. Now, if you need to bring those feet a little closer, if the crown of the head comes to the mat before you wish it to, make that happen. Bringing the hands to the outsides of the ankles, use the strength of your arms to pull that upper body towards the space between your legs. Breathe. Releasing the intensity, let those arms just gently hang. We begin to lift through the upper body, straightening those arms, supporting with the hands. Toes are turned out, and we're going to lower ourselves down into a frog pose. Those toes are turned out, so those knees go right out over those toes. Core is strong. Breathe, just letting that bottom start to sink. Nice flat back. Find that breath. Now, if it feels right to you, begin to lower your bottom down and lift that chest to garland pose. Really checking in with that body, with those hips, with the groin. Settle your breath. Release the hands, walk your feet back to plank. Crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And sit it back to child's pose. All right, my friends, it is that time. So again, be very mindful and be very kind to your body. As you're ready, extend those arms out to a T. We lift the forehead, tuck the toes, press and lift those hip bones to the sky. As those sit bones reach to the sky, allow your heels to sink. Find your breath. We shift our weight to our left foot, right toes to the sky. And as you exhale, sweep that right foot through. Bring that back knee to the mat, untuck your toes, and begin to slide that foot back, supporting with your hands, extending through that front leg. Breathe. Pointing the toes or flex your foot, whatever feels better for you. And let's slowly walk those hands forward just a little bit, lengthening through the crown of the head. How's that hamstring, guys? How are those hips? How's that groin? Breathe. And if it's right for you, slowly bring your hands down, forearms to the mat, nose toward your knee. So it doesn't have to be all or none, guys. It's about support, it's about strength, it's about the ability to be mindful, to take care of yourself. You are your advocate for your well-being and your health. Let's walk those hands back up. As we press through those hands, pulling those knees back in, leaning forward to that half crescent, hands on either side of your foot, tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, extending right leg to the sky, and gently release it down. We go directly into the other side. Shift your weight to your right, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left foot through. Back knee to the mat, untuck those toes, and let's slowly begin to slide that back foot back, front heel forward, and sink in. Now you might be a little more limber on one side than the other. If you need to be up a little bit, be up a little bit. If you need to support with a blanket or a pillow, support. Point the toes or flex the toes. Let's bring the hands forward just slightly. So for me, right side's a little bit easier. Pretty normal because I'm right-handed. So you might notice if you're right-handed or left-handed, if that side is a little more lenient, a little more easy for you. Coming down onto your forearms. Only if it's right, guys. And nose towards your knee. Breathe. And let's slowly walk those hands back up, pulling those feet back in as you press through those hands, leaning into it once again to our half crescent. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend. Oh, that feels good. Left leg to the sky. Those are intense. And gently release it down. And let's bring the knees to the mat and sit it back to child's pose. That's a lot of work, my friends. It's a lot to ask of the body. So just remember, take it slow and steady. Nobody's keeping score. You shouldn't either. Just progress. And sometimes it takes patience to see that progress. And let's slowly walk those hands up. So we come to tabletop. I'm going to turn to face you. And we're going to open up those knees nice and wide. And we want to have those hips right in line with those knees. We come down onto our forearms. And we're going to let those knees gently slide open. So we're doing our best to keep those hips right in line with our knees. Core strong. So in our frog pose, really working those inner thighs. So we're working those middle splits, just to the point where it's right for you. You can stack your hands. Again, you can support with a blanket or a pillow, a bolster, whatever feels good for you. We're going to hear one more breath. And now slowly come back up to the palms of the hands and pull those knees back together and sit it back to child's pose. Beautiful. So now if that was really challenging for you, that's a great place to start. And let's walk those hands back up. And we take that right leg out to the side. Now I want you core strong because we're going to lift through those hips and extend that left leg out. And we're going to slowly let those feet slide open. Slowly. Take your time. Make it last. Breathe. Listen to your body. So at the point where it feels right to you, bring your bottom to the mat. Keeping those legs just as wide as you can get them. Sitting up nice and tall. Flex those feet. So you might not be in a perfectly straight line. Absolutely fine. You're at your best, right? Your widest position without leaning back onto your tailbone, but staying slightly forward. Another good deep breath in. And out. Now slowly rock it back. Pull those legs together, extend those legs out nice and long, and just walk out those knees. Oh my goodness, good job. That's intense, yes? And extend those legs, reach to the sky. Exhale, lengthen and hinge it forward. Tummy down, chest down, hands, and release the weight of the upper body. So lots of stretches to lead us into those splits. And guys, if it's on your bucket list, just stay consistent, stay kind, because it's a really easy way to injure yourself if you really try and force things to happen before they're ready to. Inhale, reach it out. Sit up nice and tall. Release your hands down by your sides. And let's turn and face front. And I just want to say a huge thank you for being here with me today. Hopefully you felt a significant change in range of motion as well as intensity. Maybe this is your first time ever trying the splits. Let me know how the success was. I hope it was fantastic. I hope you'll come back time and time again, my friends. Be well, take care, and until the next time, namaste.